The people have voted. Over the past week, I've worked very hard to recreate one of your favorite characters from one of my favorite anime and our favorite game, Deepwoken. With that being said, introducing Bleach's very own squad aid captain, Shunsui Kyoraku. And before we start, I've got some fun facts about Shunsui to refresh your Bleach knowledge. Believe it or not, Shunsui was able to defeat the strongest character in the entire series, Chad, very early on, which is quite admirable. And as you guys know, Chad is captain level. Alright, in all seriousness, Shunsui Kyoraku is one of the strongest characters in the Bleach universe, and I'll be focusing on his abilities all the way up to episode 4 of the 2022 Thousand Year Blood War arc, and obviously there's going to be some spoilers. Shunsui is the captain of the 8th squad of the Soul Society Gotei 13, and he's a big part of the series. He often comes across as careless, lazy, and a bit disrespectful, but it's all part of his strategy. Of course, he's rather forgiving in comparison to other captains like Byakuya, who's all about justice. Shansui's abilities are pretty complex, but today I'll only be focusing on his fights up to what I said earlier. He's one of the only dual-wielding characters in the series with his curved blades that have extended range. Of course, his swords are cool, but the most memorable moments from him come from his Shikai. Shinsui's Shikai Katen Kyokutsu has the ability to make children's games real, and if you win, you live, and if you lose, you die. It's confusing at first, but he has the ability to make spinning tops do damage, shadows that actually hurt you, and other nonsense regarding colors, but don't worry, I'll get into it. And for those anime watchers, I won't spoil his Bankai, but just know, once you're hit with it, you'll be sent into a realm full of TheRealPunchee videos, so make sure to like and subscribe. I recreated Shunsui and Deepwoken as a Kanor because we all know he got that dog in him. Besides that, I feel like this hair color fit best with his appearance in the anime. My outfit is inspired by his flower cloak that he's always dripped out with, and I made an attempt to make it as flowy and crazy as possible. I also picked up an eye patch because he lost his eye recently, which is an RIP. The only complaint I have about this is that the long hair clips into the cape, so use it at your own risk. For my weapon of choice, of course I had to pick up the curved blade of winds. It fit perfectly for Shunsui's Zanpakuto, which is a dual wielding weapon, and it spins around just like he does. In the show, he actually switches from one sword to using two swords a couple times, which you can do in game, and it's wonderful and works great. This build is fully maxed out with some stats you might not expect. I have 2 strength, 40 fortitude, 35 agility, 20 willpower, 25 charisma, 5 shadow cast, with the rest in gale breath and medium. I'm not fully a hybrid, but I did want some shadow moves. Speaking of which, let's get right into the abilities. Earlier, I brought up something about color nonsense. Well, Shinsui Shikai brings a Japanese color game into reality. Basically, if you're wearing a lot of one color, you'll take more damage and do more damage to something with that color. It's like an Ishin's ring. Ironi is the name of this attack, and it's used as a fast lunging stab against Stark to one-shot his black hollow wound. To recreate this memorable move, I picked up Gale Lunge to get in and start combos. It doesn't have the one-shotting potential, but its speed and momentum is very similar. His Zanpakuto Katen Kyokutsu has a large range since it's 2 swords instead of just 1. Many of his spinning attacks slice through anything in a fantastic flourish. So, Master's Flourish is a combination of all of his masterful techniques that is awesome for a curved build. I put a Wayward Gem on this to combo up after a successful hit. Back to his game-based Shikai. Have you ever tried to avoid stepping on shadows? Well, that's what this is. Kageoni, Kage meaning shadow, and Oni meaning demon. In this Shikai ability, whoever steps on the shadow can be punished, and most of the time is cut. Fleshing Shadow was the best for this in order to replicate getting grabbed by a shadow, and Bless Gem on this is kind of stupid. You can just keep on doing it without a cooldown, and it's very easy to hit. I decided my belt could also be a part of Kageoni. The shadow version of Run It Back embodies the spirit of touching shadows that will get you hurt. I'm fully invincible with this shadow belt, and people who engage are at risk. Another one of these games that Shinsui plays is Takeoni. For this game, whoever is higher or above the other will win, and whoever is lower will take damage and can even hurt the user. The obvious Gale Breath mantra to take is Heavenly Wind, one of the most damaging mantras in the entire game. You go up and slam down, and it's very simple and it makes sense. And the next ability is about his squad. Over the years, Shinsui's lieutenants are always part of the Issei family. Most of them look similar and guide him throughout the years, and they're very important later on in the series. But without spoiling, I'll say that Nanao Issei and her relatives helped them out a lot. The Issei guidance works best as a Gale Wisp because it's always there helping us out. Gale Wisp reduces the amounts of hits I need for Haunted Gale, which gives me more damage output. It's a good passive ability to have on. Shinsui's position as one of the strongest captains places a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. He's highly respected and is the second in command to Old Man Yama. He takes these responsibilities upon his shoulders and has the capability to lead the Gotei 13. Shoulder Bash represents his heavy shoulders full of responsibility. Of course, Shinsui is physically strong and throws around people like it's not a problem, and Bash is great for combo extension and getting in. And the final ability I picked up is his most important, Bushogama. He shoots out a spinning crescent top that slices anything it hits. In Deepwoken, we can use Tornado to M1, 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 Bushogama combo anybody we fight. I think it desperately needs a buff, but I made it work. That's all for Shinsui's mantras, but there's a few talents that work well for his character. Of course, we all know that Shunsui would rather talk it out instead of fighting. He's very passionate about this idea and only fights when he must. So we spread this peaceful attitude with his charm and its bonuses. Dealing more damage after a mantra hit works very well well, and of course fits our character's pink-red color scheme. Here's a full talent list if you want to make this build yourself. Now check out some fights with the captain of Squad 8. That's all for Shunsui Kyoraku, and I really enjoyed making it. I'll be doing some more anime Deepwoken builds that you suggest, so please comment down below what you want to see. This took me a while to make, so make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one!